What's up, guys? ATM Sports is back on the map. Me and Coach are back. As you can see, it's St. Patrick's Day, and we had to get in the spirit. But what's up, y'all? So we had let's kind of dive right into this, man. Oh, and before we get into anything, Leedy, I know you're in here. Where you at, Leedy? Where you at, bro? There he is. Hey, Leedy, did Brady win the Super Bowl this year? Did he? Did he win number 7? That's better with the microphone. Did he win number 7, bro? Did he? Yeah, I think he did. He also has tormented your Steelers for a lot of years, hasn't he? That sucks. All right, now that we got that out of the way, now we can start the show. So, talk about an active first day of free agency, Coach. Even yesterday, even the legal tampering, they were busy. A lot of teams were busy.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about legal tampering and all that stuff. Here's the thing. Legal tampering was supposed to start Monday. We all know that that's not the case. These guys have been tampering for the past few weeks, and that's the reason why as soon as legal tampering is legal, that's when you're starting to hear all the breaking news of this guy signing this where and this guy signing this place on Monday. But you're right. There's been a lot of moves, and I think a lot of that has to do with the cap number. That cap number went from 198 million to 182. It drastically dropped, and it forced teams to have to make some cuts. It forced them to where they had to do some cap casualties. The Titans being one of them had to cut a few guys who maybe they didn't want to, but they have to get to that number, and they have to move some contracts in order to get a few pieces they want. And that cap number coming down, forcing people to move, it created just a storm, and it's just been it really hasn't slowed down.
No, and you're seeing that it's not just like concentrated in one division or one team. Like it's all over, man. I mean, the Raiders letting go of a Pro Bowl center in Hudson. You see like Philip Lindsay leaving the Broncos. A lot of these teams are having to like Kenny Golladay wanted out of he's leaving the line. Like a lot of these guys are, whether it's an offensive, defensive, like there's some big names out there that are going to be finding new homes because of the contracts they had. And they just, these teams, like you said, like there's a lot of cap casualties, a lot of them.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And there's some teams that's being able to hold on to their guys, and there's some teams that's unfortunately they're just not having to, because they're having to try to get to that number. And it has set us up for a very good NFL free agency, very exciting. And for fans of teams like the New England Patriots, who have been very active, it's definitely pretty exciting. But there's still big names out there. I mean, someone like a Kenny Golladay is still out there, unless something has happened without me knowing in the past few hours. But there's a lot still out there to kind of be decided.
I mean, to get into it with the Pats too, they, like you said, your Titans lost some talent due to the, just the cap being what it is. The Patriots, they had to let Joe Thuney and David Andrews, which were two of their better linemen, hit the market. And Thuney didn't last long. Joe Thuney got big money, and he got big money to sign with the Chiefs, and he left. And David Andrews is he is a very good center. I mean, I would be willing to say top 6 in the league, top 5 in the league when it comes to that position. And that's if he ended up back on the Patriots, I would be shocked. The offensive linemen are coming off the board quick. They're back. The value of O-line has started to come back. Good offensive linemen have the value of those guys has started to come back into the league. These guys have been running for their look at the Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes ran for his life the whole fourth quarter. No O-line is what crushed them.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I mean, I also think it's supply and demand because when you look at free agency list, I felt like there weren't too many big name players out there as far as offensive linemen. And so when you get that supply and demand, and there's a lot of demand for these positions. I mean, they always say, and I believe this to a lot of extent, the two most important positions are passer and pass rusher. So it's critical for you to have offensive linemen who can protect your quarterback because teams are pouring a lot of money into pass rushers who can get after your quarterback.
Who
So,
can
of
get
course,
to him,
offensive line is always going to be key. But when I look at a lot of the names on free agency, I just don't see a whole lot of big name offensive linemen who's got a lot of tread on their tires and a lot of value to their name. So, that's kind of upping the value for some middle of the way guys and the
those
big
guys
name
that have
guys
2 or
out
3
there.
years under their belts and they're still playing at high levels. Yeah.
Yeah. So the people who are out there, it's probably a good year to be an offensive lineman in free agency because I don't think there's a whole lot out there, and that will always, take your price tag up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When there's a big demand and not a lot of supply of it, that usually means high prices.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so we talked about the O-line. Let's jump into this quarterback market here in free agency. And one in particular, the Dallas Cowboys making a splash and securing their guy Dak for the long term, $160 million deal, 126 of it, or 100, I think 126 or 123 up front, 40 the next 3 years, 40 plus a year. What do you think of that deal?
Yeah, so I'm looking at free agency tracker, and of course, Dak Prescott was rated to be the number one free agent, and I don't know if he was ever going to hit free agency. So what I think about the deal, I think Dak Prescott bet on himself, and he won. He absolutely won. I mean, he got exactly what he wanted. I believe it was reported last year that they offered him $30 million a year, and he turned it down. And I thought that was outrageous. I thought that was a really good offer by the Cowboys, and I thought Dak should have took it. He elected not to, and now he's got $40 million a year. And so, do I think Dak Prescott is a $40 million a year, $160 million quarterback? I do not. Do I think he's a really good quarterback? I do. I mean, I think he's capable of winning a Super Bowl. Especially with good pieces around them. And honestly, they've got good pieces around them. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys got a lot of talent, and for some reason, it's not working. I think there's some things they got to do on the defensive side of the ball, but they got playmakers on offense now. I don't know if it's coaching, malpractice. I don't know what it is, but they've got a lot of talent. So I think they can win a Super Bowl with him. And then, of course, if you win a Super Bowl with Dak, then it's always worth the money. I don't care what you pay. It's always worth it. You get a Super Bowl title, it's worth it. Of course, when you pay quarterbacks those big money, that takes up a big portion of your salary. So I don't know what kind of big contracts they got coming up, but I know they got a lot of big name players. I know they paid Zeke a whole lot of money, and I don't think that contract has really looked as good now because he hasn't really performed like he used to.
In hindsight, that might come back to hurt them.
Yeah, so you might miss out on some guys when you pay these big money. But here's the thing. You got to have a quarterback to win in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak Prescott is a good enough quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And the answer is, this is honestly why I think ultimately Dak Prescott wins. And Dak Prescott was probably always going to win. The question to the Cowboys was, who's the answer then? If we don't sign Dak Prescott, what's the answer? Who are we going with? And they're not high enough in the draft.
If it's not him, who? Yeah,
they're not high enough to get that stud. And of course, rookies are never a sure bet. You've seen Dak Prescott come in the league, have success, and it seems like he gets better every single year. So it's just one of those. I said the term, and it's that way every year in free agency, supply and demand. There's not enough great quarterbacks in the league, And if you have a quarterback who's on the cusp of being great, you're going to pay him these price tags. Did they overpay? Yes. But I'll tell everybody, I post a video on a Tennessee Titans signing, and someone wants to comment on there laughing about how much the Tennessee Titans overpaid for Bud Dupree. I comment, did the Titans overpay? Yes. Does everybody else overpay? Absolutely. What did the Titans need? Pass rusher. So yes, you overpay. It's just it's the beast. It is what it is. Cowboys overpaid, but at the end of the day, they have their quarterback of the future, and if they build around them correctly, they are capable to win a Super Bowl.
So Sean
thinks that they didn't overpay, and that's fine. I mean, I just, he's at that. What is he now? Is he the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL? If he is the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, you're not telling me he's the second best quarterback in the NFL. That's where I get my logic of, yes, they overpaid. He's either the second or the third, I believe. So, he's not that type of quarterback. But with that being said, what was the other options for the Cowboys? And like I say, I like Dak Prescott. I think he can win Super Bowls. I thought the contract was a little steep, but the Cowboys had to pay it.
Yeah. Hey, Leedy. So speaking of that, Leedy is a Steeler fan, and he said you're gonna like the motor on Dupree.
Yeah, there was one guy I wanted in NFL free agency for the Tennessee Titans this year. They wanted pass rush. There was a lot of pass rush options out there I would have been happy with, but I really like Bud Dupree. I watched him at the University of Kentucky. He was really good then, and I thought he's only gotten better. So, yeah, no, I agree. I think he's going to be great for the Tennessee Titans. He had 8.5 sacks this year before he tore his ACL, and people ask about, what's up, Buck Skull Gaming gang?
Dupree was on a tear before he got hurt.
Yeah, and people was like, well, he tore his ACL. I'm like, guys, it's 2021. People come back from those injuries nowadays. Like
that's one of those that doesn't scare me anymore because they've pretty much perfected how to repair them.
Yeah.
If it was an Achilles, then I'd be more scared because that's the one that really gets guys. The Achilles to me is the one that you need to watch out for.
Yeah, but I mean, people get hurt. You're always going to have those issues, and in NFL free agency, you're going to take some risk. You're going to hope that people can come back, and if Bud Dupree comes back and he gets 10 sacks a year, sign me up. I'll pay him $16.5 million for 10 sacks a year. The Titans haven't had that in a while.
No, dude, Bud Dupree is what I like to call a home wrecker. He is that disruptive force on the defense. He's going to be a problem for the rest of your division, coach.
Yeah. I hope so. They needed him.
So let's get into some of this. Let's get into it. Who do you so some of these quarterbacks have also traded spots. We got new quarterbacks in Detroit. We got new quarterbacks in LA. What do you think? How do you think Stafford's going to do how do you think Stafford will do in LA, and how do you think Goff is going to do in his new landed spot over there in Detroit?
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Matthew Stafford, and I think I've always said he's kind of the most underrated quarterback in NFL history. He's got a chance now to kind of back that up because he's got some people around him. That I think he's got a good defense that can put him in a playoffs and make a run. So we're going to have to see. I think he can have success. I don't know what that is. I think that's a playoff run. I don't know if the Rams as a team is ready for a Super Bowl run. And unfortunately, like if this trade happened 5 years ago, I think the Rams are like absolutely winners. But I'm trying to remember the trade details, but I think they gave up a lot for Matthew Stafford, and I thought they gave up a little bit too much. But also, I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Goff.
Yeah, I believe more in Stafford than I do in Goff.
Yeah, but the only thing is Goff has a lot more years left in the tank than a Stafford. Stafford's body's been through the ringer, man.
Oh, he's been beaten up over there in Detroit.
At one day, it's finally going to just drop off. But Goff, as far as the Detroit Lions, I think he's going to be that stopgap. I think he's just an average quarterback. I think he's solid. I don't think he's a backup. I think he can be a starter in the league, but I think you got to have a whole lot of talent around him. And I think the Lions are in a rebuild mode. So I think Goff's just going to be that guy to kind of bridge that gap.
The middleman.
Until they find their dude. And the Rams they're going to go for it. And this is just a move that the Rams said, we don't think Goff can win us the Super Bowl. We're going to go and get us a guy. So at the end of the day, who do you like better? Is it Stafford or Goff to win a Super Bowl? I do like Stafford. The Rams are just kind of mortgaging some of their future for it, but we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, you could see that at the end of the year too, where they just stopped trusting Jared Goff at the end of the year and just stopped. Like you could see it at the end.
I love Leedy's comment. The Lions have been in rebuild mode for decades, and that
60. Hold on. 60-year rebuild. 60-year rebuild. It takes a really crappy team to ruin one of the best running backs to ever play and one of the best receivers to ever play. It takes a really crappy organization. You like that, Valhalla?
What? Had looks ridiculous. Hat? Oh, he's talking. I guess he's talking about.
That's my hat. That's me.
Yeah, that's your hat. I'm wearing a normal hat. What are you talking about? This is my normal go. Zach did bring up a good comment right here. He said White and Brady are buddies. I think White ends up in Tampa Bay. Is he talking about James White?
Yes, James White is a free agent, and
I thought he signed with Tampa Bay, didn't he?
He is rumored to be talking to the Bucs.
Yeah. If he goes there, that will extend James White's career. But here's the thing: the Buccaneers are loaded at running back. I don't think they've re-signed Leonard Fournette. I guess if they go with James White, they ain't bringing back Leonard Fournette.
No, if they sign James White, they'll go with Ronald Jones and White, and then they'll release Fournette for sure.
Yeah, and they still got Keyshawn Vaughn, so that would be their backs. But Leonard Fournette played well down the stretch, man.
Yeah, he actually ran with authority in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but he did nothing during the regular season. That was the issue.
Coach K, they gave a lot for Jonnu Smith. I think it was 3 years, $50 million.
Let me look up the exact contract. Hold on.
Me and Butcher was kind of talking about that before. They definitely overpaid for Jonnu Smith. They gave him the third highest paid tight end money. But like I say, people overpay. I don't think he'll live up to that contract. But him and Hunter Henry, that's a really good tight end duo for Cam Newton. I think it's going to help him out. I wish Jonnu Smith the best. I really liked him at Tennessee. He's not like – I don't think
it is – oh, sorry, Coach. Go ahead. Keep
no,
going.
You're good. I don't think the Titans were in any way, shape, or form prepared to be able to pay him that sort of money. So, and the tight ends, I will say this, or the Titans have done a really good job with like kind of low-key, no-name tight ends like Anthony Ferguson and Swain and McCole Pruitt. I think they're going to kind of roll that dice and play with those guys. But I do think Jonnu Smith will make
4 years
plays for
4 years, $49.9 million.
4 years. 4 years, 49. So they're talking $10 million a year. That's I think the franchise tag would have only gave him $6 million for 1 year. So he came out better for not having a franchise tag. So,
and then Hunter Henry got $37.5 million. So they just paid a lot of money for tight ends.
Belichick wants to get that back to the old days of that two-way punch with tight ends. Yeah.
He does. I think you're going to see a lot of two tight end set. I think you're going to see a lot of that kind of tucked in stuff. You know, I think you're going to see a lot of
in formations.
Yeah, a lot of two tight end formations. I don't think you're going to see the Pats spread the field a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of in tight stuff and 15 to 20 yards and in. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's going to help out Cam Newton because a lot of people talking about Cam Newton's deep ball is not what it used to be. So how do you alleviate that? Run the football, play action pass, short intermediate passes, and tight ends can be I think really good friend to the quarterbacks.
That's what a majority, I think, of the Patriots offense is going to be. It's going to be in tight.
Mm-hmm.
Who are our free agents? A lot of our free agents, Sean, have left. Tooney and David Andrews is unsigned, but Tooney left. James White is a free. I believe he is a free agent. We have a bunch. I'd have to pull a list up, but I know they have a lot. They have a lot of guys. So, Coach, give me so who are your free agency winners and so hold on, let's get to one more quarterback situation. The Chicago Bears go from Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles to Andy Dalton. That's not an improvement to me. They just signed the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, I got some respect for Andy Dalton. I thought he was a lot better than people gave him credit for. And honestly, when Dak Prescott went down, I thought Andy Dalton was going to kind of show out, and he definitely didn't. So he might be kind of his best days are behind him. I think he's a bridge gap. I think the Bears are probably going to try to hope that they can find that quarterback in the draft, and I think Andy Dalton would be a good pro to learn under. So I think that's about it, really. If they choose to not really draft the quarterback, I'm going to be shocked. I would be shocked. And then I guess Trubisky hasn't signed anywhere. It'll be interesting to see where he gets a second chance at, as a backup and try to earn his stripes back again. One quarterback I want to talk about who is filthy rich, and people don't give him the credit, but he's just a solid quarterback, and he picks up a job everywhere. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I was just going to say Fitzpatrick, right? Absolutely. Dude's been in the league forever.
And he's now playing for his 9th team with the Washington football team. And I tell you, I watched him at the Titans for a couple of years, and he is really good. He makes those bad mistakes at times, but, man, he is so smart with how he throws the football and where that's what's kept him in the league. And the guy, I think he got a 1 year $10 million contract.
I think it's $10 million with Washington.
He just racks the money up, man.
Yeah, no, I know. And he seems to just bounce from team to team. He can win you 2 or 3 games if you need him to,
Yeah. I mean, he could. I think on a really good team, he could potentially get you 8-8, 9-7 playoff kind of caliber, like on a really good team.
Yeah, with a good surrounding cast, yeah.
Yeah. So
he has been in the league forever, though. He really
he has, man.
He's like the who he reminds me of, like the Josh McCown. You know what I mean? Just the guy who bounced around like a continual journeyman.
Yeah, Coach K said that Harvard degree is doing him well.
It is. He is a Harvard guy.
He is, but apparently he's never going to have to use that degree. He's set for life with how many contracts he signed. Because I think his second team, he actually signed like a
good
decent
size.
deal.
That was his good. Yeah, the second contract was a good deal.
So he's got the money, and someone like him, I guarantee you, he is so smart with his money.
No, dude, absolutely. Being from Harvard and having that, there's no way he's Valhalla brought an interesting thing. He said that the Bears signed. He said the Bears signed Dalton because they were banking on trying to get Watson, and when Seattle kind of caved on the Watson stuff, they panicked.
You mean
they didn't have a backup plan? Watson was their plan until Seattle told them, go screw.
You mean Wilson?
Getting him.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah. So he was their plan, and then Valhalla said he thinks that there was no backup plan.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Is it completely over? I keep hearing smoke. And, I mean, what did they sign Andy Dalton to? I would say they didn't sign him to, like, a huge contract. So it could potentially, if it heated back up, they could potentially still get a Russell Wilson, and Andy Dalton's now, like, the best backup quarterback in the league.
So Valhalla said the Bears offered 3 first-round picks, a third, and 2 starters, and Seattle turned it down.
Yeah, if that's true, then Seattle ain't trading Russell Wilson. That's about what he's worth. I mean, It would
Yeah,
be a
no,
weird trade. It'd be a trade you never see. A quarterback in his prime get traded. But, I mean, 3 first-rounders, a third, and 2 starters, I don't see how you beat that.
Yeah, no, that I don't think they're going to get a better offer.
Yeah, no,
And
you wouldn't. So
so
if
Vegas
that's
comes
true,
in and he
that's
says,
an offer.
Vegas, has that been confirmed? So Vegas says that Curtis Samuel has signed with the Washington football team.
I
That
think
actually,
I
hold
saw
on,
it just a minute ago on this NFL free agency tracker
hold
because
on.
I liked
Let's
some.
go. Let's look for the blue check mark.
Yeah, no, it's there. Curtis Samuel, 3 years, 35.5 mil. That was a
Yep,
guy I was kind of looking at for the Titans, but I felt like he'd be too expensive. That's a good signing for Washington.
that is. It's confirmed. Yeah. So he was another one that a lot of teams were chasing after. So once again, guys, Curtis Samuel off the market. He is gone. He is with his new team, the Washington football team.
Yeah, I think that's a really good signing.
Yeah, no, that's a good solid depth piece there.
I just saw where Aaron Jones re-signed with the Packers, 4 years, $48 million. I did not really see that coming.
No, I thought they would have let him go. I thought they would have let him go. And yes, Sean, yes, they do. Now they have 2 really good receivers in McLaren and Curtis Samuel. So
Melvin Ingram is still out there. Juju Smith-Schuster is still out there. Villanueva, offensive tackle, still out there. Patrick Peterson at age 30, still out there. Will Fuller, wide receiver for the Texans, still out there. Of course, Jadeveon Clowney, Xavier Rhodes, Sammy Watkins. Trying to look through just some big names here. Kenyon Drake, T.Y. Hilton.
So Valhalla says, according to Grossi, the Packers are officially under the cap now after the moves they've made. So they're officially under.
They had some moves to make, that's for sure.
So this is another one. Where do hold on a sec. Hold on. I might have just hold on 1 second. Let me check something. We may have breaking news. Hold on 1 second. I have to check for confirmation, guys. I have to check for confirmation. Patrick Peterson may be off the board. Just checking for confirmation.
I'm seeing it right now. Adam Scheffner, perennial Pro Bowler cornerback. Patrick Peterson has reached a agreement for a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings.
So Valhalla Sports Talk, you just got Patrick Peterson, buddy. Confirmed by Schefter. What do you think of that? So Patrick Peterson headed to Minnesota.
I haven't really watched him as of late. Man, Patrick Peterson was one of the best corners out there at one time.
And that is what Minnesota struggled in the cornerback spot last year. Struggled. Like bad. So that's going to give them a boost in that spot.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll give them a boost in that spot.
One year is kind of interesting.
Valhalla just said the word out there is that Peterson is going to switch to safety. So him and Harrison Smith will play the safety positions for the Vikes.
if that happens, that is something that can extend a career. You've
A
seen
long
corners
time.
do that, and it really extends their career. So maybe that is a possibility. That might not be a bad move for him. That's a lot of times to help with those corners who might be getting a little bit slower with age.
Well, just the rookie guys too. Peterson can help him over the top, you know?
Yeah, that's
Peterson
not a
can help
bad
him over the
signing.
top. That's a good move. That's a good move by your Vikes. So, coach, who is your I'm kind of biased because I'm obviously, but I think so. Give me who so far has had the best free agency, and who are teams that you think have had a good free agency, and who are the bottom? Who do you think is going to be struggling?
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. A couple names that jump out. Of course, I think the Patriots have. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think they've had a really good free agency. I think what it is, I think Bill Belichick got upset and pissed off when he saw Tom Brady win a Super Bowl without him, and now he's going for it.
There's no way he wasn't. There's no way he wasn't sitting there looking at that TV miserable,
disgusted. Yeah. So I think he's going for it, and it's unfortunate because if he did this with Tom Brady more, Tom Brady probably didn't want to leave. You know, for years I felt like the Patriots just didn't want to go out and spend extra money on wide receivers, you know, and free agent tight ends and things like that. Of course, they had their tight ends in house, but anyway, so I mean, they're going for it. They're making some good moves. You know, a lot of people want to talk about the two tight ends, and I mean, they're good tight ends. I think the Matthew Judon pick, the Ravens edge rusher, I thought that was the best pick they've had.
Yeah, huge get for them.
Yeah, I think he's great. And then you think about getting back Dante Hightower on that defense and stuff. There's definitely improvements there. Another team that jumps out to me, and it ain't like they've signed free agents, but they've kept their own guys because they're going to reload. They're going to try to just make another run at it, and that's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they keep Godwin, they keep Barrett. I mean, that's who they
Barrett and White were the two big ones.
Yeah, and Levante David, you know,
or not White, David. David.
Levante David, Shaquille Barrett, and Chris Godwin. I mean, they didn't need outside pieces. They needed to keep their guys, and they kept their guys. So
and Brady even restructured so they could do that.
Yeah, and that's one of the many reasons I keep telling people, look, man, you can hate Tom Brady all you want, but freaking respect him because A, he's a dang good quarterback, and he's a winner, and he's one of the few quarterbacks out there who constantly takes pay cuts to get people around him better. He did that in New England multiple times.
So Jacob, Jacob says, where do you think N'Keal Harry ends up next year? I don't have a clue, man. I do think they're going to move him. I think they're going to package him with somebody else or picks or something. I don't think he's going to be a Patriot. I realistically don't. I think they're going to package him.
Here's my question to you.
Huh?
Because I'm a little intrigued with this because honestly, I think the Titans are in trade rumors for him. Y'all have watched him. I haven't, but I know what he was coming out of college. I know his body. Does he have a chance in this league to become that dude? Or do you think he's just not? I mean, try to put your bias away.
Between his ears. Because he has all I think everything that's wrong with N'Keal Harry is between his ears.
Really?
He's got the physical attributes to be a freak in this game. He's a big, tall, physical. He's strong. I think it's between his ears.
Because I've heard the rumors that Titans may be in that, spot, and he would be the opposite of A.J. Brown. And I think that's a very good area for a Harry to be in, considering our play action. So, but I don't watch him enough to know if he's going to be a bust or if he's got a chance to kind of bounce back in a new area.
A change of scenery might be good for him. I can't see him being with the Pats. I doubt. they'll put him in some sort of package as an extra or some. I don't think he's going to be here though. But he, like I said, he's big, he's strong, he's physical, right? He's not afraid to go. Is Dolly chewing on your foot?
100%. She's going to town. Killing me.
Knew it. But he's got the attributes to be, that he's got a lot of the attributes that you do look for in a big, big receiver, or in like a red zone threat, like in the back of the end zone. He's big and tall and physical, and will go up and get a football. But I just, like I said, everything to me that he struggled with last year, it was because of what's between his ears. But you know what? Sometimes guys change teams and change scenery, and that fixes that. They get a clean start. They get a clean slate. You get a restart,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes a change of scenery is good for a guy. I knew he got a big body, so I don't know. I just heard that I think the Titans may be one of those teams. I just wonder what the trade would be. I feel like it can't be too much. But I don't know. That'll be one to keep your eye on, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So where do you think Juju ends up? Since he's still on the board, where do you think Smith-Schuster is going to end up? Or do you think he goes back to Pittsburgh, he goes back to the Steelers?
I don't know if they can afford him. I feel like they're in a cap issue. I feel like when I hear Juju's name come up, I feel like there's one team I hear, and it's the Raiders. I don't know why, but when I hear Juju's name, I hear Raiders.
Well, they did lose Aguilar. That was their deep ball guy.
Yeah.
We took Aguilar from him.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach maybe he could. That's true. He could go to the Jag. They are looking for receivers too.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad piece for a Trevor Lawrence to kind of start out.
No, it does. No, it would not. I think the Patriots had a really good offseason, or really good free agency so far. I think the Bucs were very strategic in planning how they were going to keep. Dude, they're going for another run. They're going for another run this year. They kept pretty much everything intact with that team. All the guys that made the differences in the playoffs are still there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Antonio Brown comes back. You Brady would think Antonio Brown would not want to go anywhere else.
Chewing right on your thumb. That's nice.
It's terrible. Look at that. We're just waiting for the adult teeth to come in and the teeth to go away. She's missing some teeth, but she's still got some sharp ones.
Oh, they're like little needles. They hurt.
Oh,
I remember having pups growing up. When they get a hold of you, it hurts, man.
Yeah, it does. Where do you want to go see mommy? I'll let you out.
Leedy says he had to ruin his reputation with us over an app. Yeah, I know, Leedy. I know the whole TikTok thing is what really dropped his value. It did. It really dropped his value. Jacob, Fournette, Fournette scares the crap out of me, man. Valhalla, you think Fitz is going to the really? That would be interesting. Here's a question for you, Valhalla. Do the Vikings draft a quarterback to set themselves up for the future or no? Yeah, Jacob, I know, but I don't trust it's the consistency that I have a problem with him. Valhalla, do you guys even have a first round pick this year, or did you trade it? Do you guys? I don't know. I thought the Vikings didn't have a first round pick, but I could be wrong there. So okay. So you do have a first. All right. I didn't know if I thought you guys had traded your first round pick away. Vikings drafting at 14. That's dude. If you have a bunch of picks, you could try and package it up and move in. If you like a quarterback enough, you could try and move up. Maybe around 10. 9 or 10.
Yeah, there will be a quarterback that will slide to 10.
I'm not saying anything because I don't have a blue check mark on Twitter or anything, but the Patriots might not be done making big moves. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You hoping for a Deshaun Watson trade?
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying they might not be done making big moves.
I mean, you got to elaborate.
I'm just going to leave it at that. I can't say more than that.
Don't want to jinx it.
Oh no, I have a pretty reliable source.
Did you talk to Bill Belichick today?
Yeah, I got that direct line to Bill.
That's good.
I'm just going to leave it at that, though. That there's possibility that they may not be done making moves.
So
that's all.
While we're talking about this stuff, what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? Is it A, he's traded, and B, where is it to? Is it B, he's not traded and he plays for the Texans? Or is it C, he's not traded and he holds out?
Fuck off, Valhalla. Never trust a dude in a hat that looks like Bobby's.
100%. Little lying leprechaun. So Jacob says C. He thinks he's not going to get traded, and he thinks that Deshaun Watson's going to hold out. That's a mess, man. Bucks
I don't know. If he does that, then it's just damaging to his. It's just a bad look for him. So I don't think he's into that.
Yeah, but he has made it known he does not want to play for the Houston Texans. I feel like he has said everything except for I will hold out. Like he's hinted at it.
So coach said he's made it known that he wants to go to either the Broncos or the Niners. I did hear that.
That could make the Niners great again. Like
that could make them really good again.
Broncos, like
the Broncos suck.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do, and why would he want to go in the same division as the Chiefs? Like, I mean, who's in the 49ers? They got a good division. That's the Rams, Cardinals.
Valhalla, this is gold. Does that count? Does this count? That's gold.
So they're both good divisions, but yeah, the 49ers, they still have a team there. They've dealt with some injuries. It has been a mess. Vegas, I mean, Houston, it's crazy to see the max exodus they've had. I mean, you think about trading away one of the best receivers in the NFL.
It's upper management, dude. The players can't stand, like, the upper management's awful. That's what it is. They can't take it.
And you know what it all stems from, I think where it started, I heard this. I remember it when it happened, but it felt like it wasn't that big of news. but they said with the players, they started to lose respect with the owner when he made that comment. It was like 3 years ago. I don't know if y'all remember, but he made what he thought was a harmless comment, but it really rubbed people the wrong way. He said, "You don't let the inmates run the asylum."
Yep.
And
I remember that. And
I think that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Because really, since then, I'm trying to think of any big name free agents they've gotten in there. They haven't.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
They've
nothing
gotten
really.
free agents, but not big names. And they've only lost one of the best receivers in the NFL, and they're one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL wants out. I mean, it's not. And then J.J. Watt, I mean, he's out, you know? I felt like J.J. Watt was a guy who you could have just said, look, he's going to retire a Texan. He might take pay cuts. Nah, he was fine with leaving.
John Larson says Watson to the Seahawks for a bunch of picks and then Wilson to the Pats. But here's the thing, John, right? They declined. Here's the offer the Bears made the Seahawks, and they declined this. 3 first-round picks, a third, and 2 starters.
But if you're the Seahawks, you take less if Watson's in the trade. Absolutely. Because then you're trading one franchise quarterback for another franchise.
They already declined that offer.
Yeah, but if someone offered you Deshaun Watson, that's better than what the Bears offered. The Bears, in with those picks and starters, not one of them was a quarterback. So that's always like if the Texans did come to him and say, "Hey, we want Russell Wilson. We will trade you Deshaun Watson, and 2 first-round picks." Yeah, I'm probably taking that trade. The question is, I don't know if Russell Wilson, does he have a no trade clause? Is there such thing like that in the NFL? I know you have it in hockey. Is there a no trade clause in the NFL? I'm not sure on that. And if it is, then he might. I don't know if there's a no trade clause in hockey. I know it's one in basketball. I know it's one in hockey. I think it's in basketball.
Oh, hey, Rick, if the Pats ever got Russell Wilson, my fat ass would do a backflip.
Sean Rogers, the Titans signed defensive end Danico. I had his name, Danico Autry. Autry from the Colts, really great signing, and they got Bud Dupree, pass rusher from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They also signed.
You guys need to draft cornerback.
Yeah, well, we will, and we need a draft receiver too. They also signed Janoris Jenkins, cornerback from the Saints, who I like Janoris Jenkins. And then they re-signed Jayon Brown today, which that was the one defensive player I wanted them to re-sign was Jayon Brown. So that was really good.
He was probably you guys' best defensive player overall.
Yeah, easily top 2 between him and Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love Jayon Brown. I'm so pumped that he's staying a Titan. Yeah, Sean, it is not bad. I mean, the Titans, they've had a lot go out the door too. Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis.
I was shocked you guys didn't keep Davis because he was like a staple for you guys. He was like a locker room guy, good leader for you guys. I would have thought you would at least tried to negotiate with him, but it just seemed like you just let him walk.
Well, from reports here, they were interested in re-signing him, but they didn't want to pay him the money that they thought he would get on the market. The thing is, we took him 5th overall. He never lived up to the 5th overall pick. This year, he was very solid. I mean, he had a really good year this year, but it was like, is that just a contract year? And I think what it comes down to, at the end of the day, he was not our number 1 receiver. That's A.J. Brown. And in 2 years, you are going to have to pay A.J. Brown top dollar. You are going to have
a lot of money.
You're going to have to pay him number 1 wide receiver money. So if you put all your eggs into Corey Davis, you cannot do that and let it screw you over with A.J. Brown. And I think that's what they're thinking here. Corey Davis, really good year this year. I really wanted him to stay, but plus the Titans, they were not in the best cap situation. So
No, you guys were right at it. Like you didn't.
Yeah,
The Titans
we
did
only
not have
had
a lot
like
of wiggle
15
room.
million in cap space, so you're gonna lose guys. And I didn't like the way where he chose. I was hearing rumors he could have went to the Ravens. I thought that could have been a great pick for him. Now, throwing wise, not really, but a good team. But he went to the Jets, and I'm like, it's a good target for what's his name? Shoot. Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold. It's a good target for Sam Darnold. But I would have thought he might would have went to a little bit better team, but he went where the money was. So, I mean.
See, the Jets only these like bottom third teams, they're in a tough spot, especially like in free agency and stuff, because it's like there's just some teams that just aren't destinations. So the only thing that they have is money. Like
Money.
we're willing, like, because who's realistically going to want to go play for the Detroit Lions? Who's going to want to go play for the freaking Jets? Who's going to want to play for the Jags? Like some of these like lower end like, you know what I mean?
Yep. You got to lure them in with the money. I mean,
with the money. And that's their only bargaining chip, literally their only bargaining chip.
That's how it gets when you're just that bad for a while. So, I mean,
and the reputation just sticks with you, even though the Jets have changed their whole regime. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you got to prove it first.
But that's what I mean. New coach, new culture.
You got to get out of it.
Yeah.
You got to prove that you're out of the
unless
cellar.
the Jets come back out and win like 9 or 10 games this year from their previous year, nobody's going to want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, if they put a couple seasons together and they show that they're back on the rise, then I think they made a good hire with their head coach. We'll see if he can be a head coach. But as far as how he's respected, that's a good hire. And
you're talking Urban Meyer, right?
Huh? No, Jets.
Oh, the Jets. Oh, Saleh. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's very respected in the NFL and in players. So they hired a head coach that I think players like. So now he's just got to be a head coach. If he's terrible at being a head coach, it won't work out. If he's remotely good at being a head coach, I think the Jets, if they put a couple of seasons together, can become appealing because A, it's New York, and B, if there's a head coach in place that people love to play for, they'll go there. But I mean, they got to win. So as far as the Jaguars and Urban Meyer, I just don't know. I mean, he's never coached in the NFL. I think he could be a flop, or I think he could be a success. I think it very well helps him out that he's going to get a Trevor Lawrence. As a Titans
to start with, yeah.
As a Titans fan, I don't know if he's going to be good or not. I wish that experiment wasn't coming in the AFC South with the Jaguars because he's been successful everywhere he's went. But in history, it's been very difficult for Jags fans to or what am I trying to say? It's been very difficult for college coaches to be able to take that jump in the past.
No, Sean Rogers. Rex Burkhead, I believe, is staying with the team. I believe Burkhead's staying with the team. So here's an interesting little thing. Check this out, Coach. Did you see that?
I thought he's already came out and said he wants to retire a Cardinal.
If he goes to the Bucks, that's insanity.
Oh yeah. I at this rate, the Cardinals have gotten to be a very solid team. I want to see him end it there.
I almost want him to go to the Buccaneers just so Brady can continue to Thanos the rest of this league.
Yeah.
Just for the pure straight up chaos effect.
Yeah,
I believe Rex is staying with the team, Sean. Rex is going to stay with the Pats, I believe. What's up, Jake? Coach says
that's a good statement, Coach K. I do too.
No, the Titans have absolutely focused on defense, defensive line in particular, front seven.
And they needed to. The defense was terrible last year.
When teams I saw a couple of nationally televised a couple of Titans games. I don't know if they were national, but I did see a couple of Titans games. They had like 5 seconds, 6 seconds to throw the football. Like teams had all day to throw with you guys, and it was like, the corners can only do so much. You can only ask a corner to cover a professional. You can only ask those guys to cover for so long.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Of course, there was some coverage issues. There was some coverage busts all year long. But yeah, if you can't rush the passer, it gets extremely hard to defend the receivers.
So check this out, Coach. Read that. Interesting.
That'd be a great pickup for the Vikings. I'd just be shocked if he goes to Minnesota. Why leave Arizona for Minnesota? At this rate, it's no disrespect, Valhalla.
Tundra, like this would freeze his ass off up
there.
Well,
yeah, I mean, hey, the weather is much worse than Arizona, but at this rate, Arizona's a better team than Minnesota, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, and he's always been at that organization. I feel like you stick it out. Now Tampa Bay, yeah, I could see that. I mean,
I wouldn't fault him for going to Tampa just to get his Lombardi.
Yeah,
because if anybody, dude, he deserves one.
He's not a free agent, is he? I don't think he's a free agent.
So Viking says Fitz was also a ball boy for the Vikings as a teen. He was a Vikings fan as a kid.
We ain't hating on no Vikings.
No, dude, I don't think we're anywhere near finished with all these with the craziness that is free agency. And I think the draft is going to be even more.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think we're done seeing people get released too. So that's always gonna, make it even more crazy too.
Because they still got to go through training camp too, and they got to cut the rosters down as well.
Yeah. So I mean, you still got a lot of big names guys out there. We'll see where Kenny Golladay goes. There's a lot more people out there.
Where do you think he ends up? Where do you think Golladay ends up? I'm going to say the Giants. I'm going to say they do anything and everything they can to get him.
That'd be very underwhelming, but maybe.
But why? Like,
I'm trying to see him come to the Colts. I definitely don't want to see him come to the Colts. They're losing T.Y. Hilton. They got a lot of money.
Oh, that's true. I forgot that T.Y. was going to be on the move.
Yeah.
I did see that, Austin. Yes, they did. They crushed him. And Daubach hit a grand slam.
Yeah, I have heard, Sean, some rumors about T.Y. Hilton going.
He's visiting. Golladay's visiting the Giants, I believe, right now. I believe.
Oh, okay. But yeah, if T.Y. Hilton goes to the Chiefs, that's kind of like a Sammy Watkins. I don't know where T.Y. Hilton is in his career. When the Titans played the Colts twice this year, I felt like T.Y. Hilton was a non-threat. I kind of feel like he's definitely on the back nine of his career, and it's coming fast.
How long has he been in the league? He's been in the league a while, hasn't he?
He's torched the Titans for years. It's been a while. He was so good.
Bad memories there, Coach.
He was so good with Andrew Luck. I don't know if he played with Peyton Manning, but he played all those years with Andrew Luck, and he torched us. Jacob says T.Y. is finished. I would be very close with that statement. Like, if all of a sudden he signs with the Titans, I'd be like, okay, solid piece, but he's only going to be that veteran presence, get you some receptions. He's not going to be T.Y. what he usually is. Luke says, why did you change the channel name?
Me?
Yeah.
Because I do more than just the Patriots, so I wanted it to encompass like all of Boston.
And you still kept your your BB theme. Butcher's
Yeah.
Block, now Beantown Breakdown. That
Yeah,
ended up
I
being
wanted to
really
stick
good.
with the double B, yeah. So this says, according to sources, Golladay very close to signing contract with the New York Giants.
Okay, well.
Although there are other teams in the mix, but so far the Giants are leading the charge to get him.
I would love to hear what's the other teams. I mean, are the Giants even close? I mean, that is a terrible division, but are they close? I feel like a healthy Dak Prescott has the Cowboys right where they need to be to start kind of taking over that division. I don't even know if RQ3
the other possible team in the mix could be the Ravens. The Ravens.
I would go to the Ravens over the Giants.
Me too. To be
I don't
honest,
know if RQ3 is even in here anymore. He didn't like my comment about overpaying Dak Prescott. If you're in here, brother, give me a comment.
they
Look,
did
I still think
they did overpay, but they didn't have a choice.
Yes.
They didn't have a choice because there's nothing else out there that's better.
And RQ made a comment. I saw it and I meant to comment on it, but we kind of changed gears. He said that we just didn't get it. It's the market. It's what the market is set to. I understand that the market is what it is. You get one quarterback to get paid this much money, the next guy's got to get there. It still doesn't mean that it's not overpaid, because at the end of the day, when Patrick Mahomes is here and Dak Prescott's paid right here underneath, though they're not comparable as quarterbacks. There's a much bigger gap there. I know what the market is, and I still think Dak Prescott's a really good quarterback, and I think they've got a chance to kind of take that division over, but overpaid. But they had to. And I mean, still good for them because they got their quarterback. And like I say, if you win a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter.
So I'm just checking on something real quick. Somebody said that the Patriots had re-signed Jackson, and I don't see that. They put the second round tender on him, but they did not re-sign him.
Sean, I 100% agree. Ravens would low-key waste him, I think. He's talking about Golladay.
Yes.
Jacob said Lamar, overrated. He absolutely is.
The only
overrated.
reason he would go to the Giants is because Daniel Jones can actually throw the freaking football to him.
Yeah.
And James White is going to be a hot commodity. That's a fact. As a pass-catching scat back, people are going to want him.
Like I say, if he goes to Tampa Bay, that's a really good signing.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Ronald Jones and James White down there with Brady. Come on, man. And James White already has the chemistry with Tom, so that the integration into the offense would be seamless.
And you add those wide receivers along with it, absolutely.
They're the Buccaneers this year are going to be scary good. Scary good again.
Oh yeah.
Danny Jones does throw a better football than Lamar, and that's freaking sad.
Did y'all see this? And this is outside of football. 2 hours ago, SportsCenter, former NBA center Sean Bradley suffered a traumatic spinal cord injury.
Yeah, I saw that.
That left him paralyzed. Dang. That's terrible, man.
Luke, I like the way the Patriots have played this, man. I like the way the Pats have played this, and I still think they got it. People forget, Coach, they have almost $40 million still to spend.
Who? Patriots?
The Patriots have almost $40 million still to spend.
Wow.
Hey, I'm never abandoning my team, Valhalla, ever. Uniform above everything. Logo above everything. I like what they've done though, Luke. I do, man. I like what they've done. I think that they still have a lot of money left. Pats have almost 40 million left. I think they have $37 million left to spend. I'm pretty sure it's like 36 or 37 million left. It's up there. They could still make moves. Yes, they do, Jacob. Yes, they do. The Buccaneers and the Patriots play one another. Yep. What's up, GRB? What's up? Shut up, Valhalla. That's kind of funny, though, because it does. So that is kind of funny. And why'd you have to throw that I didn't get in there, huh? Why'd you have to throw that in there, huh? PlayStation Network screwed me out of that. Huh? Why you got it? Why you got to poke and prod like that? That ain't right. That ain't right, man. That's why I did this NFL free agency, Ryan, because I had a bad feeling about tonight with the Celtics. Bad feeling.
Celtics just so inconsistent this year, man.
What's up, Jake? The Snake Sports Talk Show in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, Jake?
Hey, Jake. Thanks for Hunter Henry, bro. Appreciate that. Thanks for your tight end donation. Yeah, I had a bad feeling about it, Ryan. That's why I didn't do it. I had a bad feeling. So, Coach, where do you think Watson ends up, realistically? Where do you think he goes? Where do you think he goes, and what do you think it's going to take to get him away from the Texans?
Man, I don't know. It would be rare. You don't see franchise quarterbacks at his age demand for trades and get traded. So my gut feeling would say that he's back in Houston, but I think there's been too many bridges burned. I just don't know. And the way that organization's mess, if you had to put me in a corner and say something, I would say I feel like the most smoke I've heard, I feel like he would end up in Miami, and it would take a Tua Tagovailoa, a young quarterback who we really don't know if he's going to make it in this league, but he was one of the best quarterbacks in college when he was playing. He's a one-year pro going into his second season, so you're getting a very young youth quarterback who has a high ceiling. It would take a Tua Tagovailoa and maybe 2 more first-round picks and maybe more. I don't know, but 2 first-round picks, Tua Tagovailoa for Deshaun Watson, who doesn't want to play for your organization anymore. You get his money off your books. You've got Tua Tagovailoa on a rookie contract with 2 more first-round picks. You might get a third too.
It's going to take at least 3. It's going to take at least 3 first-round picks.
Maybe,
at least.
Yeah. I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me if it was 4. Seriously, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 4.
Yeah, but if you don't have a quarterback, absolutely. But if you have a quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa who they took,
that might be a first-round pick there. Yeah.
They took him in the top 10, so that's essentially we're giving you a top 10 pick here, you know. So, I mean,
yeah, but Brissett would be Brissett would be the backup. He said the Dolphins signed Brissett.
Yeah,
Brissett would be a serviceable backup if they got Deshaun Watson. They would absolutely. But do you realistically think Deshaun would sit the season until he got what he wanted? I don't know if that's in his I don't know if he would do that. He might bluff. I don't know if he would do that. And then if he does do that, I don't know if I would want him.
Yeah,
because it's a bad look for him.
it's a slippery slope when you talk about that stuff. To me, I feel like you sign a contract, you need to honor it. You shouldn't sit out because they don't trade you. But I don't know. Everybody's got their own reasons. I don't know. He's just made it so clear that he doesn't want to play for him. I feel like there's a chance he might sit out. But who's the head coach there now?
I don't even know.
I don't either.
I don't even know who it's I think it's an interim coach.
No, I think they signed a guy, right?
Anybody in the chat know that answer? Because I don't know that answer.
I think they went and they hired someone that's just like, yeah, I don't know. Cornell?
Oh, Cornell. Romeo Cornell. Romeo Cornell's the coach.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, Romeo Cornell, yeah.
Romeo Cornell got the head coach?
I think so. Now do you understand why he wants out?
Titans don't have to worry about the Texans. That's all I'll take. Yeah, they said no, I don't think it's him. And they said Cornell's not the coach. Yeah, he was definitely the interim, but I don't think he's
Well, Hollis says hold on, let me check. Let me check the blue check mark.
That'd be a good signing.
They do need cover linebacker help. Hold on, I do have an alert on Twitter. Let's see if there's an incoming Rappaport tweet. Yes, it is. Kyle Van Noy is coming back.
Is that official?
Yes, it is. Per now official from the man himself. Yes, it is. As of 3 minutes ago, Pats Nation, Kyle Van Noy coming back to the Pats.
Wow. You don't see that happen often. That's pretty cool.
So Van Noy coming back to the Patriots. Van Noy also tweeting it out. Yep. As of 3 minutes ago, not Schefter, Rappaport and Van Noy. It is confirmed. Yep. KVN is back. KVN is back back with the Pats, and he will be sporting the Flying Elvis next year. You know what that means? The Boogeymen are back. So that was a good depth piece right there. Kyle Van Noy had a really good final season under Belichick. He really did get the best out of him. So that's a smart signing there.
Yeah, no, that's a good signing. And he'll be able to come back and just hit the ground running.
Details.
That's a signing where he can just get right back to home, hit the ground running like he didn't even miss.
So no details on the contract yet. All right, Val, take it easy.
Was it the Dolphins?
He was with the Dolphins. Yes, he was.
I wonder why that just kind of ended so quick.
It was only a 2 year. The Dolphins only got him on a rental.
I thought it was like a 5-year deal.
No, I think it was a two. I think it was 2.
Man, I thought it was a 5 because I thought I saw something where they're like, he leaves after 1 year in a 5-year deal.
Maybe. Oh, no, he did sign that deal. Maybe the Patriots ate the contract. Maybe the Pats ate the contract.
What do you mean?
Maybe they just traded him. They just traded him. They just ate the contract,
Well, they didn't trade though. They cut him. The Dolphins cut Van Noy.
Well, then maybe it wasn't an expensive contract. Maybe they just said we'll eat.
There must have not been the dead cat must have not been very high.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know what, maybe 6 or 8 million, something like that.
Maybe, but it's like that's still kind of surprising that they would do something like that.
Van Noy is going to help a lot because he's going to help Uche, and he's going to help. He'll take some pressure off of Uche, off of the young guys up front. I'm telling you, that's a smart signing from them. That is a very smart signing.
No, I agree.
So I got a question for you. Since we're talking about this, what direction do the Titans go first? Do they go defense or offense with their first rounder?
It all kind of depends on if they sign a wide receiver in free agency. If they don't, they might be forced to go with a wide receiver simply because
need
you
need
at least
alone,
have
right?
Christian Fulton and Janoris Jenkins at corner. Wide receiver, we have A.J. Brown and a guy you never heard of. That's it. So because we cut, like I say, Corey Davis leaves in free agency, and we cut Humphreys, and we decide to not sign back another player. So that's about it. So if they don't sign a free agent wide receiver, right? They might go there. But I'll say this. I think you need to draft a corner in the first round because this is a very loaded, deep wide receiver class again.
Wide receiver draft, yeah.
You could get
a good wide receiver in your second round pick.
I've saw some guys projected third round. I'm like, dang, he'd be a good pick up there. So now the Titans did get an extra third round pick this year from losing Jack Conklin last year. So getting that extra third round pick will be very big for them. We'll see. We'll see where they go. They need to get corner, wide receiver, and probably need to try to add some more depth for that offense.
Where do you think Clowney ends up?
It all depends on what he's asking for. If all of a sudden he becomes realistic and he understands he hasn't played really in 2 years and he is okay with taking very cheap league minimum, I can honestly see the Titans say, hey, let's try to run it back again. Give us a team-friendly contract on 1 year. Try to prove you're right, and then we'll give you the money next year or someone else will.
Because he was hurt big money all last year, right? He was banged up all last year, right?
Say that again.
He was banged up for you guys, right?
Yeah, he played like 5 weeks, and then he was out for the year. So now, if we did sign him on a very cheap team-friendly deal, I would take it because now you add him with Bud Dupree, Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Harold Landry. It starts to look really good there. But if he still thinks that his value is really high, then he might be really high. Where does Adoree Jackson go? I don't know, Buckskull.
Wow, Gabe Jackson got shipped out of the Raiders too. That's two offensive, stud offensive linemen that are gone off that team. They better draft O-liner. Their car's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Coach? So early, huh?
Calvin said Seattle, the next Texans of the NFC West. Too much drama coming from that camp? Maybe. There's something brewing there.
From what I've been hearing, a lot of those players are unhappy. They don't like. It's not that they don't like Pete, but they don't like upper management.
I've never liked Pete Carroll. I've always liked Russell Wilson.
If you ask me,
I've always liked Russell Wilson. I could never really root for him because I just don't want to root for Pete Carroll.
I think he's kind of a tool, if you ask me.
Yeah, he's a sleazeball.
Oh, Russ can win. He's just fed up with the situation. He could still win. You watch.
Yeah, no, Russell Wilson's a good quarterback. He can win.
So here's a question for you, Coach. Who has a better year for the new quarterbacks? Who has the best year for the quarterbacks on the move?
So what are we talking about? We're talking about Stafford,
Goff, Wentz. We'll go with those three: Stafford, Goff, and Wentz. Who has the best year out of those three?
I hope it's Stafford. Goff, I'd say it's Stafford or Wentz. Wentz has a good chance because of what he's got around him.
And
But
Frank and right, Frank Reich.
yeah, and can he kind of tap back into him?
You watch. Frank Reich's going to turn that dude. I still think there's stuff left in the tank for Wentz. I still do.
Yeah, maybe. I know these past 2 years have been really bad for him, though. It's almost like his confidence is gone, and sometimes that can be a very hard thing to get back, and it can ruin a player. Me personally, I mean, as a Titan fan, I don't want to see him come back now. But if there was anywhere to do it, he's probably in the right place going back to his old coach. But with that being said, I mean, Stafford's got weapons.
He does.
I think he's got more weapons.
He's got a lot of them now too.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot
good
more
offensive line.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot more weapons than what Wentz has. So I would probably give Stafford the nod, also because Stafford's a better quarterback, and then Wentz, and then Goff. I mean, I just don't know about Goff. I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's your franchise quarterback.
After the Patriots took him apart in the Super Bowl, I've never kind of looked at him the same.
Yep. Well, I never thought he would be anything coming out of the draft anyways. I thought he'd be a bust. He actually surprised me with how well he did early. Matthew says Goff low-key going to be a beast. I mean, I would be shocked if he got on beast category. I don't think he's bad. And here's another thing, Matthew. I mean, who is he going to throw the ball to? The Lions, and look, Gridiron Blitz out there. If you're watching, my boy, I appreciate you, and I feel your pain. But the Lions, and I say they're in a rebuild. They're always in a rebuild, but they got to get dudes. I feel like offensively wise, I could name you one offensive player outside of Goff for the Lions, and that would be DeAndre Swift. I don't know anybody else. Because Marvin Jones is gone, Kenny Galladay's gone, Jesse James, your tight end's gone.
We touched on this a little bit.
Hodgson, I remember him.
We touched on this a little bit there. Diehard Bengals fan. He said, "Where do you think Galladay will go?" Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat, man. We both. I think he's going to go to the Giants. I think the Giants are going to do what it takes to get him. I don't know about coach, but that's where I think he ends up.
Yeah, I didn't really know, to be honest, and that's where everybody's kind of telling me the rumors are. So maybe it's that. Diehard Bengals fan, appreciate you joining the stream. I see your name. You know, let's touch on the Bengals a little bit. They've been quiet. They lost Lawson. That's a tough loss for them, but I feel like almost people kind of forgot they're in the league. But I want to
line to protect Burrow.
Yes. Bad. And I want to say this, man. I hope that dude stays healthy because I think Burrow is gonna bring them out of it. I think they are, man. I don't know if it'll be with that head coach. I don't know, but I love Burrow, and he was looking good. This year,
he was balling before he got hurt.
Everybody talked about how great the Chargers quarterback was.
Herbert.
Well, if Goff would have played a whole year, I think he would have had a very similar year.
Yeah, if Burrow, if they give Burrow an offensive line, that dude's going to be dangerous. That dude was before he got hurt, even with a banged up offensive line, the guy was a freaking surgeon. He was good.
Yeah, AJ Green did go to Arizona.
He did sign with Arizona. Yes, he did. And
I saw a tweet. So Arizona signs AJ Green and AJ Green and JJ Watt. I saw a tweet. Cardinals sign AJ Green, JJ Watt. If only it was 2016. Like that, I thought that was pretty good. If they signed those dudes in 2016, they're getting them in their prime.
Yeah,
they're definitely. They're definitely not in their prime.
I don't know how you feel, but like AJ Green has always been like a
what if?
Yeah. Well, it's an effort. It seems like he stopped trying years ago. You know what I mean? Like it seems like he stopped giving 100% years ago.
Yeah.
Like as a Bengal fan, that would drive me like batshit crazy because like he's like a freak when it comes to like his ability, but he just doesn't try anymore.
Yeah, that might be the Bengals effect for you.
And Scott Zilla said the Cardinals also picked up the Raiders center there, the Hudson. Yeah, Zilla, that was a good pickup, man. That was Hudson, Rodney Hudson. That was the Cards aren't messing around this year. They're doing everything they can to surround Murray with some serious talent.
So the Browns just re-signed Rashard Higgins.
So get this, right? This is what the Patriots pass rush and linebackers could look like next year, right? Actually, no, yeah. So linebackers. So Hightower, Jude, linebackers and defensive ends. Hightower, Judon, Uche, and Winovich. Plus Kyle Van Noy. Throw that in there too. Those are your DNs and linebackers for the Pats. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. No, I really like what the Patriots have done. That's for sure.
It's, you know what's crazy is it's so far out of character for them to just literally go out and do this. You know, usually it's calculated and slow, and it's almost like Kraft was just like, go do what you got to do, Bill. You know, it's almost like he literally just gave him the green light.
Yeah, diehard Bengals fan. I don't know if AJ Brown, if he can be 1,000-yard receiver again. And also, I mean, they've got a lot of targets over there. They got DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know how many multiple 1,000-yard. We'll see. I think he could have a really good season in Kyler Murray's and Arizona Cardinals kind of
that air raid offense.
Yeah, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, there's a. With the way this draft is set up, too, Coach. I think you're gonna see teams. You're gonna see teams sell the farm to try and get inside the top 10. Those teams that are picking 12, 13, 14, 15. That I guarantee you're gonna see one or two of those teams sell the farm to try and get inside that top 10.
Yeah, I mean, and plus it always helps when you got about three.
There's 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in the top 10 pick. There's 5.
I knew there was 3.
Well, okay, there's 5 that could be serviceable. 3 that are going to be really good.
Yeah. So what I was about to say, whenever you get quarterbacks that, you know, a multitude of quarterbacks in the draft that could go high, that's going to give you a recipe for a lot of trades. Appreciate that, Chase T66. Dope mod.
No, he ain't. Shut up, Chase.
If I only had a butcher's hat. Chase T66 wants to remind everybody to like the video.
What's up, Chase? Yo, I'm going to say when, because it's not a matter of if. It's when I get to Tennessee, we either got to go to a Titans or a Predators game. Like, book that.
It will have to be a Predators game because me and Chase coach on Sundays.
So then we'll make it a Predators game. Either way.
And when that plays now, are they going to be good? Who the hell knows? They've been sucking. But when that place is full packed and rocking, it's a great environment to be in.
Because I'm coming. At one point, I am getting out there.
We'll make it work.
Tennessee is going to be invade. I'm going to Tennessee one of these days, whether it's this summer, next summer. One of these days, I'm going to Tennessee.
There we go. Hit up Broadway.
Oh, I told you. I told your dad that I'm gonna. I said just have $100 on you at any given time while I'm here, just in case.
He says, "Come on, Butch."
Oh, Chase, it's going down. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We've got a bar down here. Chase knows about this bar, but it's got a mechanical bull in the middle of the bar. I could see you in that bar, Butcher.
Wait. Hold on. What? What?
No, there's no way that's true. After all the moves they made, we're saying that they trade up to the 7th. There's no way that's true.
Hold on a second.
Never heard of it. Might not have never remembered it.
Might have never remembered it is better.
Wild Beaver. I think it's what it's called. Heck of a name.
Oh, dude, it's gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun. I don't see where did you where did you, if that's true, my fat ass might do a backflip now.
I think they're just doing some false informations out there, just throwing some stir crazy stuff.
I've heard that they want to try and get inside the top 10. That's what I've heard. That they want to get inside the top. They want to try to get inside the top 10. They're at 15 right now, but I don't think they stay there for long, to be honest. I don't think they stay there for long. I think they're going to try and move up.
Where are they at?
They're at 15 right now. 15.
15 to 7 would be a jump.
15 to 10 is doable with the right amount of picks and a player. You could do that. Or even like 15 to 9 would be doable.
I thought the play-in games were today.
They were, I think.
No, it says tomorrow. The 4 play-in games are tomorrow.
Matthew, I don't think they're going to pick tight end because they already just paid a huge amount of money for 2. So I don't think they're going to pick a tight end. So I think Kyle Pitts is off the board for them. But that's it's I mean, it's been hectic, man. We said it at the beginning of this stream. The drop in the cap has caused a lot of, casualties among these teams that you probably otherwise wouldn't have seen this year. They're having to make some tough decisions on some guys.
Yeah, and that's what's made this NFL free agency just kind of crazy.
Because oh yeah, no doubt. Vegas, I want either Zach Wilson or Trask. Either one of those guys I would be fine with. Either one of those dudes I would be absolutely fine with.
You say who you would be fine with?
Zach Wilson or Kyle Trask.
But Kyle Trask is not a first-round quarterback, right?
No. Zach Wilson would be my first pick, but if we
Which
couldn't
one's
get
Zach Wilson? Is that the BYU?
Yes, Zach Wilson's BYU. Yeah.
I thought last time I thought he was going like second overall.
Mac Jones is okay, but he's not. See, Mac Jones and Kyle Trask are kind of those guys. They're super accurate, right? And they're super smart with the football, but they can't, like, they're biggest knock is their arm strength. But they said Brady didn't have any arm strength either. So to me, that means nothing. Give me the super accurate, smart guy with the football, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. I almost hit the duck. That would have been insta end stream. Yeah, something tells me with Belichick's ties to Alabama and Nick Saban that they might be trying to get Mac Jones. Something tells me too that with the ties that Belichick has with Saban, they might be trying to get Mac Jones.
And that wouldn't be a bad pick. I think Mac Jones got a lot of capability. I need to start kind of really starting to dive in a little bit more into the draft, start looking into, especially for the Tennessee Titans, as far as wide receivers are concerned, corner are concerned, start looking into there. I think it's going to be an exciting draft. I think it's going to be a good one. I think there's a lot of really good players out there. Do we know, where's the draft at this year?
Vegas, I think.
Is it Vegas?
I think it is Vegas.
Are they going to have it, or are they going to be virtual again?
That I don't know. I think it is Vegas, though.
I feel like they haven't talked about that. And let me bring up one more point. I feel like, the Washington Redskins changed their name to the Washington Football Team. And they said, this is what we're going to have for this year.
Yep.
Are they ever going to change their name or like?
Well, so did you hear the story of why they can't change it? The big rumor going around?
Because that one guy owns
some dude filed all the patents on all the names that they were going to use.
Yeah, well, and he did it like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he did a really good job. I think it's like he did like 100 different names, and they're all like really good names.
Yeah.
But
so now they're kind of screwed because they'd have to pay him royalties if they wanted to use one.
Yeah, or just give them a little buyout and say, on your way, you peasant, Yeah.
Here's like $5 million. Shut up and don't ever bother us.
Yeah, like, of course. I'd probably be like, look, you can give me 10. Give me 10 million.
Yeah,
like
you
$5
can give
million,
me,
come on.
You give me 20. I know how this works.
Yeah. But with that being said, I did not think that they would be the football team for 2 years in a row. Is that what it's looking like? I've heard nothing lately about them changing their name.
Then that usually indicates that they have no plan to. If you're not hearing,
I feel like it would have already been done by now.
Yeah. If you're not hearing anything, then that usually indicates that they have no plan to. None.
So, I mean, the Washington Football Team, back-to-back years.
Don't remind me, Ryan. The Celtics are losing to the Cavs on St. Patrick's Day.
Appreciate you for joining the stream, Jacob. Appreciate the support for Beantown Breakdown.
We speaking of heading out, guys, I think we are gonna close it. We are gonna close it down for the night.
Catfish Terry just joined. Said, "Well, look who the dogs drug up."
What's up, Catfish? What's up, buddy? Catfish, you want a drink? You want a drink, bud? Want me pour you a shot there, big guy? Want me pour you a shot, Catfish? Get you some of that Tennessee fire.
That sweet nectar.
But yeah, so I mean, it's like, Coach, it's been hectic, man. Teams have been busy. There's been we got a lot of new quarterbacks and new landing spots, and looking to change the perception that they've kind of got. Goff, especially Goff and Wentz, I think are two that are looking to kind of change the perception that they have of, that the league has of them. So I think they're going to come out with some piss and vinegar and be a little extra motivated to, especially Wentz,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these guys. And you hear the rumors out there that Jimmy Garoppolo could be moved, but I feel like that move would have already been made by now.
It would have already been done. Yeah.
Now, unless something crazy happens at the draft, you never know with that stuff,
Nothing outside the normal catfish. Nothing that we haven't already done. No big moves yet.
One big move today, Catfish Terry, and it was in the house signing. The Titans do re-sign Jayon Brown, linebacker Jayon Brown, for a 1-year, like $5 million deal. Great signing. That was one of the main Titans I wanted them to retain. So
best defensive player on you guys' team by far.
yeah, he's a really good guy, and he's a heck of a player. So I was pumped to see that.
But Coach, thanks a lot for hanging out with me.
No, it's been fun. I appreciate you for having me. Across the Map Sports, between me and Butcher, we are back, and we're going to try to go ahead and schedule another Across the Map Sports for sometime next week, and we'll have it on my channel. We'll kind of go back and forth, and we'll get into – we really wanted to hit in on NFL free agency because that's the big thing happened this week. Next week, normally with Across the Map Sports, we just hit on main topics across the map in sports. It's right there in the name. So next week, we might be kind of closing up some bows on free agency, and then maybe we will hit on some topics as far as NBA is concerned, NHL, and then we'll give it to the chat. We'll sit back and say, you pick the topic. So this is something we've done in the past. We've been wanting to kind of get back at it, and today was really good, and I appreciate you for having me, Butcher, and we'll definitely be back.
Absolutely, man. So thanks again for coming on. But yeah, so this is something that we've done this in the past, guys, and we're bringing it back. We're gonna try and get one like a scheduled day or two or probably a day a week that we're gonna do it, and we'll do an episode like Coach said. It's just focus on all the different on all sports. It's the main, whatever the big stories are from the different leagues. And then we leave it up to you guys at the end. We talk to you guys at the end, and you guys can ask us any questions you want. And but that's how this thing is going to roll. So next week we will be on the Coach's channel. When this is done, when we finish this live stream, guys, I'm going to put his link in the description. So if you don't want to miss the episode, and you should do it anyways, go and subscribe to that dude right there.
Appreciate it.
Like now, or as soon as I drop the link in the description, it will be in there. So make sure you go and grab up my dude, the Coach Plays. And once again, guys, we thank you for all of your continued support for both of our channels, because the squad is coming hot, and they've the growth has been awesome, and we definitely appreciate it as streamers. We definitely do. We appreciate every single one of you guys, all the support that we get. It means a lot. It does. And we thank you guys for watching. And we will see you on Coach Plays' channel next week. I will put a announcement in the community tabs on when that's going to be and what time. It'll be Central Time for Coach and Eastern Standard for me. And we will let you know what that's going to be as soon as we work it out. But thanks again, guys, for watching Across the Map Sports. And this was our coverage of the opening days of NFL free agency. And I don't think we're anywhere near done with the madness that is the NFL season. It's just getting going.
Just getting going. That's what makes the NFL 365 days a year. It's fun. It's a good time.
But we appreciate all of you guys' support. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Drink responsibly. Tip your bartenders. Get home safe. And we're out of here, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Deuces.